welcome to Deep Dive. I'm Kevin Benedict, your host, and I want to thank all of you for joining us today. I'm so excited to introduce Vasu Jakkal.
Hello.
Vasu is the EVP and CMO of FireEye. Now, that's a cool company name.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, and who did the logo? I love the logo. Really? It's really cool stuff.
Well, we have, the logo was done a long time. I'm assuming you're talking about the eye, right?
Yes, yes.
It was done a really long time back, and we actually have a nice little surprise coming up.
Wow.
So watch out for that.
Very good. Well, we just flew in this morning. Justin, the cameraman, and myself just flew in from Boise, Idaho this morning.
He's very cool. He's like behind the scenes.
And we had snow all over the ground in Boise. We fly down here to California, and there's snow on all the mountains right outside the door.
It's the whole polar vortex making its way down here. I'm telling you, my body temperature has automatically dropped 10 degrees. I'm meant for tropical weather, so it's really hard to look at all the snow around me.
I bet. So for those that haven't had the privilege of meeting you before, give us a little bit about your background, Vasu.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here, Kevin and Justin. It's exciting, and I hope that through this talk we can add value, you learn something new, and mostly we have a lot of fun.
Yes.
So about me, I'm an engineer turned marketer. I was born in India, but I'm really US made, so as to speak. I studied there. I grew up with an amazing family surrounded by love, and then came here for my education. And I have not one, but 2 degrees in engineering since I was so confused.
And you're in marketing.
I'm in marketing. And then I moved over to marketing because I really, really do believe that if there's one function which today has the power to change the world and to drive compassion and kindness and great storytelling and magic, it's marketing. So I love marketing. I have 3 kids, so I'm a mom of 3, a girl, a boy, and a fur child, so one of each, right? Got to have one of each. And I love sci-fi. So I grew up with sci-fi. I love Star Trek, wanted to be on Starship Enterprise. Didn't realize I was born 300 years ahead of my time, so here I am, but maybe in my next life. And I really, really love all things marketing. I love all things marketing. I also love cognitive diversity because I feel that the more you understand people and the world around us, the more change you can drive. So that's a little bit about me.
Oh, how exciting. So in just looking back through your profile, you have covered just about every aspect of marketing.
I have.
So you're CMO now, but when you look at all of your responsibilities there, which part of marketing is most interesting to you?
You know, it's a great question, and I wish I could pick one thing. I believe marketing is changing. And, you know, marketing also is one of the most misunderstood functions today. Some people think of marketing as communication. Some people think of marketing as lead generation. Some people think of marketing as brand. And I believe that what makes marketing special is the whole. The whole is greater than the sum of parts, and that's what marketing is about. Most importantly, today, marketing is about it's a business function. It's driving strategies, understanding what's your North Star. Who do you want to be? You know, what is that authentic DNA that you have? What is it that inspires us to do what we do? Understanding that as a company and then understanding that for your customers. I think that's what marketing is about. And when you understand that North Star, once you understand that 3 to 5 year strategy, and then you work through that to add value for the people who you care about. That's your employees, that's your customers, that's your partners. Then magic happens. So to me, that's what marketing is. Marketing is about inventing something which is truly, truly worth inventing. It's about telling a story which is worth telling. And it takes all of these functions from really business strategy to brand in its glory, to great communications, to great demand generation, to great product marketing, and all of this tying cohesively across digital and data. And it's hard to pick one thing. I love all of it.
Well, you go back a couple decades, and marketing was about graphics and font sizes and color schemes and things like that. Today, your 2 engineering degrees can come in very handy because marketing is so much more data-driven and analytical than it used to be.
Right.
How have you seen it just over the course of your career in marketing? How have you seen it evolve through digital transformation?
Great question. when I get asked about the font question, I said that's why I did engineering. I just wanted to figure out the exact pixel size which is going to go into that font and write an algorithm for that. No, it's important, right? Visuals are important, visual identity is important, colors are important, fonts are important, but marketing is also becoming a more data-centric function. So why? So let's step back and let's look at our world. I don't think human behavior has changed very much, Kevin, since, I don't know, 80,000 years now. We still wake up with our hopes and dreams. You know, whatever that is. Some of us want to open coffee shops. Some of us want to work with animals. Some of us want to change the world. But those are our hopes and dreams. Those are our passions. And I don't think that's changed. However, having said that, pretty much everything else around us has. If you look at how you consume information today, if you look at how you make decisions today, it's very different than how you did these things just a few years back. And you know, I have a 13-year-old and a daughter and an 8-year-old son, and when I look at the world through their lens, it's completely different.
Yes.
So today, marketing, and that's why I said it's an evolution. So while we have to make sure that images that are created can really spark that emotion, we also have to make sure we understand this world which is full of data. And the beauty of it, now we can use this power of data to make decisions and to understand what's working, what's not working. For a large part, earlier it was more art. And today I think marketing is about art, science, and emotion, all bundled up. So data and the engineering background, it helps me with just analysis and structure. Who are our customers? How do we understand them? What is it that they're looking for? Getting that down to science. And I mean, look at MarTech right now. I follow MarTech. There's, I think, close to 8,000 companies. There are more companies in MarTech than there are in cybersecurity. Wow. Which is insane.
Yeah.
So you can measure pretty much anything you want to measure. At the same time, you have to be careful because it's that art and science. You know, not everything which is meaningful can be measured, and not everything that is measured is meaningful. But yet, a lot of it can be measured. So that data-centric approach, understanding things like, and I'm going to use a bit of technical terms here, the customer segmentation, but really both the demographic, the firmographic, the psychographic analysis, and you can have data today to help you do that, right? You can understand which customers have stayed with you for a long time, who are new customers. You can understand what the share of wallet is, as an example. You can understand emotions using data, like what is that scale? And then you can have really targeted strategies, and you can have automation from a marketing automation. Everything that can be automated today is getting automated so that we as humans can then add our value and our innovation on top of that. So it's a fascinating world, and there's everything from serving you the right content in your watering hole. There's a technology for that. There's an app for that, right? To how are you responding to me and what do I change? There's an app for that. And I think at the heart of it, for me, it comes about marketing is about winning hearts first, then minds, and dollars will follow.
Yes.
And related to that, marketers have to be there for your customer, and you have to be useful. And I think that's the power of digital. It allows you to have these great orbits that you can amplify through, and you can really serve meaningful content, and you can add value.
And when you personalize and you divide up your customer base or your prospect base into all these segments, that must require a lot more personalized data or content, I should say.
What a great segue. So, and yes, right. So if you look at our world, it's super noisy. I mean, we're constantly bombarded with information from all angles. Take that noisy world where you're just listening to information, and now with fake news, you don't even know whether this is true or not.
Absolutely.
Or should you believe or should you not? Is this a real person? Is this not? So there's that. And then you couple that with attention spans, which are declining pretty rapidly. And I know this is a stat widely used, but what was that I heard? A human attention span is less than that of a goldfish. I'm pretty sure it's not true, but anyway, 7 seconds, right? That's our attention span. So you have all this information coming through. You don't know what to believe. You don't have time for that. And you're expected to wade through this and make decisions. The more you personalize, the more it's relevant. And what is the one thing we don't have today? It's time.
Yeah.
You want to spend time with your family. You want to spend time on your hobby. You want to spend time on your new adventures. So that's what personalization really does for you. It allows you to say, what is Kevin interested in? How do you relate to the world around you? And if you are interested in this, right, because it's an inviting in, you have to be invited in, then how can we create the best experience for you through this technology? And there are technologies, account-based marketing technologies, content personalization technologies. Again, there's an app and the technology for all that we can use to take the powerful, authentic stories that a company does and then surround you with that. And then it's your choice about how you want to take the next step.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. So let's talk about FireEye. What are the kind of the key messages you're trying to drive home in 2019 with FireEye?
Yes, the FireEye, I've been with FireEye now for a year and a quarter. And I'm going to use a word which may be surprising, but I feel like it's a calling. And I feel like through life you have many bumps and you go through it. And I've been very fortunate and grateful that every single company that I've been part of has had a great story to be part of, and more than anything, just amazing human beings that I've been surrounded by. But FireEye is special because the calling of FireEye and the calling of cybersecurity as a whole is something we really need as a society today. So FireEye, our mission, we're very, very mission driven. It's about relentlessly protecting our customers, our world, and our societies. And I think that's something worth fighting for. And why is that important? I mean, again, look at us, look around us. It's a great, great world. Cyber now is a bigger threat than some of the physical threats that we see.
Absolutely.
And the reason is, and I give this example to my friends and family, when you cross over a country, you have a passport. They know you're Kevin.
Yes.
Right? I mean, it is physical. You're made of atoms and energy, and
Yep.
you're crossing that like check. Well, if you're in cyber, how do I know it's Kevin? And you don't need a passport. I mean, you can be in
Anywhere
in the world, a remote village in India. All you need is a computer and a network to connect to. Anything that's connected can be hacked. It's simply a question of, it's not a question of if, it's a question of if you're worthy of being hacked.
Right.
If it's
Right.
relevant to the threat actor. So cyber is a mission-driven segment, mission-driven industry, and FireEye has a very big part to play in this. We catch evil. It's as simple as that. And what we stand for is, so we have a trinity. We have our services, and these are honestly probably the most brilliant people I've met in the world. They are people who are out what we call frontlines. So they're in the trenches. They are looking at what's happening out there. When there's a breach, we are more often than not the first call. Most of the time, the first call. Kevin and our consulting team has been in rooms where once someone goes to a breach, they've experienced what happens there, right? So, and we solve for that. We have an intelligence arm, and I believe that we have one of the largest intelligence organizations outside any government. Our intelligence finds evil. They find these threat actors and threat groups who are most often nation sponsored and are going to cause damage. So there's the big aspect of pattern recognition, following them around things like the darknet and figuring out what are they up to and what are the patterns. And then the last one is technology. So that's the third piece of our trinity, and that's, we have a platform. So all of this great intelligence that comes in through our frontline experts and through our intelligence analysts, our platform, decades of data between threats and threat actors and threat sponsors, we have that mapping. We call that context. That coupled with orchestration and automation, automating everything that you have. So if you are a cybersecurity analyst, you can get this unified pane of glass and you can look at what's happening. And then we also have technologies like network security and email security and endpoint security. So if I were to sum it up, right, I would say our mission is to protect our customers by being the best line of defense and by offering this platform, which is a seamless extension of your security operations.
So Vasu, how have you seen marketing be impacted by digital transformation throughout your career? How is it different today than it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago?
Right, great question. So I believe that I don't like funnels, I like loops. So I'll start with how I view the buyer's journey today, because it starts there for marketing. Today, the buyer's journey is really a beautiful infinity loop. And I remind people, no one wants to go in a funnel and pop out of it, right? I mean, you don't want to go in and then out, off you go, and you're on your own, buddy. People do want to be carried through that journey, and they are looking for co-creation. They're looking for co-partnership. So that's the marketing journey today. From the very first hope and dream that we talked about, awareness, consideration, exploration, all of that goodness, all the way through advocacy. And if I look at that journey and I expand it, we used to live in a very linear world. So there was here's a flyer, right? And you're like, right, here's an event. You go to the event, and then you have a meeting with the rep, and done. Well, it doesn't work like that anymore. Today, you have 70% or more of this journey, which is all digital. So people don't even want to talk with each other. You don't have a first meeting till most of your buyers and customers or clients have done their own research on their own time. They've talked to their peers, they've talked to people. And that's different. That's very different.
Yeah.
And that's all done in digital. So you're on your couch, you're doing your research on your terms before you even spoken to anyone else. That's the digital transformation that we see in marketing. Now the question is, how do you want to own the moment with your audience across this? And they're really broken into micro moments. So how do you want to own this micro moment? And that's the power of digital. Today, if you look at just some basic stats, so we talked about the 70%, but I think it's like 84% of CEOs and decision makers on social media, where they're getting information constantly. 64% or something in that vicinity of search, like of information finding, rather start with a generic search. I mean, how many times have we gone and said red shoes, and it's in that Google bar which comes up, and then you get a list, and sometimes you recognize the brand, and that's how you make a decision. So that's the power of the brand. Sometimes it might be something else. Sometimes your friend might say, buy that red shoe. But all of that is happening in the digital. So I think digital transformation has permeated marketing to the extent that I don't know if people really saw what that impact was going to be. And I don't think that marketing can be done without the power of digital today. And that's the beauty of it. So more and more and more of that journey is going to be digitally owned.
So how does storytelling, how has that been impacted by digital transformation?
I think it's highlighted how critical storytelling is. Because remember, you're bombarded with information.
Right.
Everything sounds the same.
Yes.
Right? I'll just use cybersecurity as an example.
Yes.
Every single vendor most often says the same things. And so if you're not authentic to your essence, and brand is not a thing, right? It's not even a promise anymore. Brand is the totality of who you are as a company. It's a relationship that you have with your employees, your customers, your partners. And that narrative, that story of why does it matter? So I'm a big fan of Simon Sinek, big fan of Apple. I think Apple just did it right. Of starting with the why. That's the storytelling part of this. Why do you exist? And articulating that narrative to the people who you care about. And that's why storytelling is important, because in this noise, people are searching for, can I relate to Kevin? Can I relate to his purpose? And that brings us to really purpose-driven leadership and purpose-driven companies. And if you don't tell the story in the way it needs to be told, you've lost people. So yes, you have all these technologies, and I feel in a way it's creating more noise. And that's why storytelling coupled with great digital surround is probably going to be that magical combination of the future. Actually of today. Yeah,
so the media sources of content for storytelling have evolved as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How have you seen maybe your prospects and customers, their content consumption patterns? How have they changed?
Great question. So I feel like we're moving to, and I'll use this word, more snackable content, where you have limited time, you want to get, you're curious, you just want to see what that is, and you have to capture attention. Remember that goldfish example I gave you? So every 7 seconds you're making a decision in your mind. Well, should I spend the next 7 seconds on this content or read something else? And so that's why I feel like we have to get great storytelling in there, because that's what captures our audience and that's what captures their attention. So I see that trend to more snackable content. I also feel content is it's a loop-to-loop. It's messy. I would love to meet anyone who's really nailed down a content strategy. because you have brand content, you have product content or solutions content, and all of this has to come together. And I think the one word I love and I would bring in this conversation is simplicity. People are striving for that simplicity, right? Why is this relevant to us? So I see trends of simple content, snackable content, and then once you've invited people or once they have chosen to be on that journey with you, then yes, there's lots of deep dives, there's lots of research, there's bigger. So I feel like there's a content like schema, a framework, right? This is the engineer in me. Where high level snackable pieces, emotion, you are capturing that emotion, you're winning those hearts, people are making decisions on, do I care? Not care. And then you're going deeper, like a relationship. You're going deeper in the relationship where there's deeper content, there's different types of content. I also am a big fan of omni-channel and omni-content. I think you need to try out things. I don't think there's any one channel which works better than others. You have to have a distribution strategy across all, and then you have to use data to monitor what works best for you and what not. And it could be seasonality, it could be segmentation. There are lots of aspects to it.
Oh, absolutely. So if you were giving advice to a young, a person that's in marketing right out of the university, and you were giving them advice on what skills they should build today to be prepared for where marketing is going to be in 10 years from now, what advice would you give them?
So my first probably conversation with them would be, thank you for choosing marketing.
Okay.
It's the best function in the world. And it takes a lot of heart and it takes a lot of bravery really to do marketing. I tell my team, and one of my favorite people in the universe told me this, she was my ex-boss a long time back, done if you do, done if you don't in marketing. So it takes to be a marketer, it takes a lot of courage because you have to stand for what's right, like everything else, but you also have to try different things out that no one else has tried. The second piece I would say is marketing is being redefined every single day. And what marketing used to be is no longer what marketing is today. The biggest functions in marketing that I see evolving is marketing being it is right now a more strategic function. Marketing playing a big role in driving the strategy of the company, this North Star.
Yes.
Understanding the why. Why do you exist? And articulating that, because that should be the core pillar of what drives your 5-year, 10-year blueprint. Marketing will always be about storytelling. It's the heart of great marketing is great content. If you don't have great content, if you don't have great stories, it's going to be a challenge. And and you have to dig deep and find that. And again, your story is not someone else's. That's the beauty of it. You can only be yourself, right? I forget and I'm going to completely massacre it. But what is it that you can only be yourself, or some very wise saying like that's true. As a company, you cannot be someone else. So be loud and proud, live your life. And as a company, you have to live your life and you have to find out what made you you, and that narrative and that storytelling. So I think storytelling is going to continue playing a big part in marketing. And the third aspect of marketing, which I would say, is digital. You're going to see more ways in which digital is going to be really integrated with analog in creating immersive experiences. So, you go, Minority Report is a great example. Yes. You walk into to an event and you're going to be surrounded with personalized information. So I love sci-fi, so I use all kinds of like ridiculous examples which are going to make your eyes roll in the back of your head. But it's, Nirvana would be you're walking through, right? And you're like, hi, Kevin, without it being creepy. Like someone says, good morning. It's so exciting to see you at RSA since we have our big cybersecurity event coming up. And you're like, great. Here's, based on what you've told us about your preferences, we believe these are 3 things you may be interested in. Boom. Like, if you have your cool glasses or your cool watch, like you click on that and you see that content served up. You're like, great. This is a great talk. This is a great maybe keynote, and this is a demo that you might be interested in. And then you'll get something else like that. And then there is additional content that you might be interested in. If you're interested, click here and we'll take you through that. And you're like, great, I want to go for this keynote. Wonderful, Kevin. Kevin's interested in attending Melanie's talk and he's interested in attending Justin's demo. Fantastic. The minute you click that, it's going to show you, here's the way to go there. Here's the talk time. That is To me, that's usefulness. And Kevin, you might want to meet 5 people who are just like you, and you can connect with them in a humanistic way. That is great marketing. And we have so much work to do to get there. But I do feel like understanding your purpose and marketing is going to play a big role in North Stars and strategy and articulating that, telling great stories, and then using the power of really digital and immersions to have that connection with your audience is going to be the core of marketing. Underlying all of this, and maybe this is again just my perspective, I feel marketing is also very disciplined these days. We have to be showing ROI. And one of the things we do here at FireEye is, along with the strategy piece of it, also the operations, like what are the great processes? How do you take people, humanistic processes? How do you take them from this place to that place? So all of that. And by the way, when I meant strategy, I think product marketing is always going to be a very big piece of it. So one of the things at FireEye that we do is marketing is responsible for pricing and packaging and all of that good stuff. So it is really a business conversation. So to sum it up, I would say strategy, business, all of the pricing, packaging, but long-term, short-term, stories, brand, all that amazing, and then experiences.
That's brilliant. Thank you for sharing your insight, your expertise, your experiences with all of us, Vasu.
I am delighted. Delighted to be here. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys learned something new, and shoot me a note if you have questions.
Thank you, and I want to thank everyone for tuning in today.
Thank you so much.